Hi everyone, thank you for coming to Ausi.Darshan. Australia is generally considered to be an expensive country to live in, especially in its major cities like Melbourne and Sydney. So if you're planning to move here, you should definitely have a rough idea of your budget and expenses. This video will tell how much monthly expenses you can expect here. Please note that these costs may vary depending on your location, spending habits and your lifestyle. Like every household in Australia, the major chunk of my salary goes into rent. For me, rent is about 35% of my salary. Currently, me and my partner are staying in a Western Sydney suburb, which is around 45 minutes from the city. And we pay around 500 AUD per week for an unfurnished 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. The apartment did not come with anything. We bought everything on our own: washing machine, fridge, microwave, every appliance. Now, property price depends on various factors, the foremost one being the location. Obviously, the rent in Australia's major cities is more. Sydney undoubtedly topping the list with the highest rent and property price, followed by Melbourne. Also, the closer you move to the city, the more expensive it gets, as it's the hub to offices, restaurants and all the touristy places. I have friends staying in the central business district area who are paying around $750 per week. On the kind of salary that I'm getting, I certainly can't afford to pay that much. Plus, I'm okay with around 1 hour of travel time to office in city, because when I was working in Gurgaon, it used to take me 2 hours one side to travel from my home in Delhi to Gurgaon. This is still half the travel time. Second factor affecting the rental price and property price is age of the house. For example, ours is an old construction, so it lacks basic amenities like lift and dishwasher. And I literally dread the time when we moved here and we struggled to bring our saman upar because there was no lift. God knows how we brought our fridge, cupboards up through the stairs. Had to put in so much of effort and also shed a lot of money to bring all of those heavy items up. It was painful. A few housing tips. First, in Australia, all the properties to buy, rent or sell are listed online on websites like Real Estate and Domain. So you can download these apps and select your filter criteria to get an idea of the rental prices at different areas in the country. Second, if you do not want to spend so much on rents and do not mind sharing your space with other persons, you can check for shared accommodations listed on websites like Flatmates and Amber Student, and you can even check out Facebook marketplaces. On these websites, they offer rooms for rent rather than the full apartment or house. If you're living in a shared apartment, it will cost you around $300 weekly. Second, grocery. It's pretty expensive to eat out here. One dish easily costs around $20. So most of the times we cook at home. So for 2 people, our monthly groceries come around $500. If you are living alone, it would come around $250 to $300 per month. Tips on saving money on grocery. There is no system of MRP here like we have back in India. So the cost of items keep fluctuating from one store to the other. For example, a granola packet in Coles is showing as $9 right now. And the same granola is showing around $5 in Woolworths. I would strongly recommend downloading Woolworths and Coles apps to compare the prices and then buy from the store that is selling it for the cheapest. I do that. In general, I've noticed that Aldi is cheaper than Woolworths and Coles, but Aldi does not have an app. I've also noticed that Indian food like atta, ghee, etc. are way cheaper in Indian stores than these supermarket chains. So I buy my Asian food staples from Indian stores. There are many Indian stores located all around Sydney. Items whose due dates are approaching are usually sold at a reduced price. For example, I generally visit Woolworths half an hour before its closing time to grab some items that they've put for as low as $1 or $2 because they want to get rid of the items which are expiring probably today or tomorrow. Some apartments have electricity and gas bills as separate, but mine is an induction gas that is powered by electricity. Even the heating of water, all of that happens through electricity. So I get one electricity bill, which includes basically my gas usage as well. So here electricity bill gets generated quarterly. So for 3 months, my bill comes out to be around $350, which is basically around $130 per month. For electricity, there was also a one-time connection setup charge, which was around 75 AUD. Water is free to use for us. We don't have to pay for it. But it depends on where you live, as water is managed by different water authorities at state and territory level. My brother lives in a shared apartment with three other people and he gets separate bills for electricity, gas, and water, and he says that it has never crossed over 80 per month. I work in a hybrid mode, so I have to have Wi-Fi. Under an offer, it was costing me 65 AUD per month for 50 Mbps for the first 6 months, and now I'm paying $80 per month. Also, please note that if it's the first time you're setting up an internet connection at your home, they don't give you a modem, so you have to buy a modem separately. I bought mine from Amazon for around 65 AUD, but this was only one-time cost. For mobile, it is $25 per month for me for 30 GB of data with no international calls. I normally use WhatsApp to call my people in India. Also note that these prices may vary depending on the network provider. I've already covered in one of my previous videos that transportation in Australia in general is not cheap, and especially in Sydney, it is expensive. We don't own a car, so we travel via the public transport. I go twice a week to office, which costs me around $13 per trip. So my office trips cost me $100 per month. Apart from this, I also like to explore places on weekends. So that comes around to be $50 per month. So total transportation cost for me is around 150 Australian dollars per month. This may vary depending on how much you intend to travel. Last, health insurance. Neither am I a PR holder nor a citizen, so I don't get any of the government provided healthcare perks. I have to pay the health insurance out of my own pocket. Health insurance cost can vary depending on different visa types. Mine is 4A2, temporary skills shortage visa, and I have taken the basic essential life visitors cover, which was around 100 monthly per person. So this is the summary of our monthly expense as a couple, which is around 3,300. If you're single, it would come around 1,500 to 1,800 depending on the services you avail and how you choose to spend. What are your monthly expenses? Let me know in the comments. That was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. You can watch my other videos on Australia. I bet those would be very informative and helpful. Bye.